Yes. Greetings, Wanaomari. Greetings, Wanaomari. I want to thank God for His mercies, which are new each and every day. I want to thank God for such a wonderful time that I come to you live from where I am, and I hope I find you well. Reading from the book of Joshua tonight, reading from the book of Joshua. I've got only 2 verses. I'm going to read chapter 1, book of Joshua chapter 1, which reads, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, my servant Moses is dead. Now therefore arise. Shoko randoda kutaura nezvaro inyaya ye-after. Verse 1 yati, now after the death of Moses. Ukama wakanga uripo between Joshua and Moses. Wakanga huri ukama bandi nebrugwa. Joshua provided, the support, that the much needed support to the ministry of Moses. Shekuti, he could do anything. And Moses stood up as a father figure. He stood up as a leader, not only for Joshua, but for the rest of the house of Israel. And as we meet here, the Bible is saying, after the death. At times, some of the words that we share, some of the, preachings that we do in church, in, services or elsewhere, they mean nothing because it's after nothing. But maybe when you go through a certain experience, a certain situation, you are now able, you are in a position to relate to the word. God is speaking to Joshua saying, after the death of your leader, after the death of your pillar of faith, after the passing away of the one you thought was going to move you to another level. And in other words, here we are discussing of loss. We are discussing of unexpected loss. We are discussing here, the issue here being addressed by God to, through the book of Joshua is, our being after we lose something. We are in a world where, yes, gaining is anything else that we want to pray for, but we are losing things each and every day. We are losing relationships each and every day. We are losing friendship. We are losing, brothers and sisters. We are losing even part and parcel of our body. We are losing limbs in car accidents. We are losing even the passion to reach out to people you used to reach out to. We are in a world, we are in a season, we are in an environment where we are always losing. Loss is all that we can talk about. And maybe this word can bring something to you if you are that person who is recording, who has gone through, who has experienced a loss. God is addressing Joshua because he had just experienced the loss. You can imagine they've left Egypt. They are facing, problems and challenges. They are not yet in Canaan. And yet the man who was the leader, of the camp, he has died, he has passed away. You can imagine the turmoil. I'm sure we one way or the other, we have lost even our parents at a young age where you start wondering, so what's going to be my future like when I lose my parent at this age? Some have lost, some have lost their children, some have lost, their wives, some have lost their husbands, their loved ones, their sisters, their brothers. And then you wonder, you look at death in the eye and you say, but what's there for me in this life? Amy, do you know kana kuri kwekuti kurasikirwa ukama wa Joshua na Moses? Kana kuri kwekuti ndikautarisa ndinoona huri ukama hungaite wababa nemwana. Wekuti when I look at the death of my father, when you witness the death of your parent, there are so many feelings, emotions that come into being. There are so many things that we start, thinking about. At times, our feelings are even contradicting, You don't know what your future holds. You are totally because when they become leaders, when they become, fathers or their parents, they connect you with your past. But the fact that they have been taken away, you feel your past is gone. Even as a generation, at one time, we were children to them. But now that our fathers, the generation of fathers has been taken away, then it means we are the older generation. We are the ones being looked upon by our children as the old men. That's a terrible experience. Joshua now is being addressed by God, because God does not just come to address us when we are, when everything else is honky-dory. He comes to address situations that are current, situations, emotions that are live in our lives. And he says, you know what? My son, Moses, my servant, is dead. But then, therefore, now, I kindly ask you to arise. You have been disconnected with your past. You have lost your job. But I am saying, arise. You have lost it in your relationship one way or the other. You still grieve, you still feel the pain. But I'm saying, arise. I'm saying, arise. Joshua is not yet in the promised land. The person aitaurwa naye naMwari achipiwa mepi yekufamba nayo ndiye atorwa ndiye afa. Have you been in such a situation? The person you really depended upon, you thought, iyeye kana aripo zvinoita, iyeye wacho ndiye otorwa. And God is saying, as you suffer that loss, I want you to arise. I want you to arise. You can go on to read the whole of chapter 1, but I'm going to read just chapter 1, verse 9. He says, have I not commanded thee, be strong and of good courage? Be not be afraid, neither let thou be dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee wherever you go. Mwari vari kutaura maneno anofunge. Handina here kukurayira kuti tsunga shinga utsunge moyo. Be strong, be courageous. You might have lost this relationship, no problem. Be strong. Yes, it is a problem. We may cry. We may get into a period of mourning, inconsolable. At times we no longer cry the tears that anyone can see. But deep down my heart, I feel that vacuum. You feel that emptiness. God is saying, you know what? Be strong. Arise. Be strong. Be courageous. Be courageous. Yes, Moses has been taken away. But there is a better part of you that will get into the land of the promise. Ndati nyaya iri kuadhiriswa panapa mufunge. Inyaya yekunge tambenge. Takachibata. But now he's gone, is no more. Tambenge ndine a brother, but now he's gone, he's no more. Because Bible shukura Mwari rati after the death of Moses, after the passing away of that pillar, but not before we arrive in the land of Canaan. After the passing away of that pillar, may God give you the courage. He is saying, have I not commanded? I am saying, be strong. Why? Because we've been found to be finding difficulties in dealing with this loss. Is it the job that I've lost? Maybe I am failing to come to terms with the loss of that job. And here's the reason why God is saying, be strong, be courageous. Have I not commanded thee? I might have lost a brother, a daughter, a son. I might have lost my parents. Yes, but God is saying, while you are mourning, it is normal for you to mourn. It is normal for you to, but the feeling of regret, at times we start seeing how possibly we are going to die, because I've seen my dad die, my mom die. I start imagining, is this how I'm also going to die? Bible, I want you, the Bible is saying, I want you to be strong. I want you to be courageous. Fear not, for I will be with you wherever you are gonna go. It doesn't matter the prevailing circumstances, but God is reassuring you and me. He is reassuring the church. He is reassuring, the body of Christ. He is saying, I am going to be with you wherever you are gonna go. So it means we have to watch out where we are going, because at times we may go where God does not want us to be, and He's not going to be with us. As much as He is promising to say, wherever you go, I'm going to go with you. Remember, ndangoti nhasi manheru hama yangu ka nditaure nenyaya the loss. Joshua felt the loss of Moses. The children of Israel said to have cried for some days, remembering the great man. My brother, my sister, there may be difficult moments, yes. But God is saying here, my servant has run his race, but I want you to arise. I want you to arise. Ndataura ndati dzimweni nguva we feel lost in this world without certain people. We feel lost. Because they were so close, they were so dear to our hearts. But now they are no longer with us as we are no longer with them. We feel the emptiness. But God is saying, remember, you know what? I want you to arise. There are things that we need to do as we wait for this day too. There are also things that you and me have to do. Remember, our parents, there are things that they did for us as a generation to be who we are. And you also have a part to play. There are things you are supposed to do for the next generation to come. Before we are disconnected. There is nothing that disconnects one generation to the other except death. We get so disconnected. But it is so important that we understand they played their part. I am here to play my part. Be it financially so, I know. Be it spiritually so, I know. Be it whatever, I know you've got a part to play. Remember, I said, God is saying, verse 1 is actually saying, after the death. My sharing tonight, it is after that disaster. It is after that disaster. How we are supposed to compose ourselves as children of God. How we deal with that loss. How we deal with that loss matters quite a lot. God discovered Joshua was in a mess. Joshua was in terrible discomfort. I'm saying we are not yet in Canaan. We are right in the middle of a wilderness. And the man who knew the way, the person who connected, whom you God spoke to face, he has been taken away. That's a terrible experience. And as it is a terrible experience, my brother, my sister, it has happened to you. It has happened to me. It has happened to you. It has happened to me. It happens to everyone. We lose. We are in a life of losing. But how we deal with it? God is saying, I want to deal with this loss the best way I can. There's nothing that can substitute the presence of God. There's nothing that can substitute the strength, the motivation we derive when God speaks. He is saying on verse 9, have I not commanded thee? Have I not commanded you? Be strong, be courageous. I will be with you wherever you are gonna go. I'm saying, Joshua, you will cross the river Jordan. Yes, without Moses, only memories. I'm saying to you, yes, you'll hand over that daughter of yours in marriage, but no longer with your husband. You'll hear, cross that hand off in marriage, but no longer with your, with your wife. Yes, you will. You will. But one thing that God assured Joshua was, when you cross, I will be there. Even if Moses is not there. And he's still saying the same to you. Without your husband, without your wife, without your parents, I will be there. God is saying, you will get to graduate to university, but I will be there. I will be with you. You may not be with your sister who is late, with your brother who is late, with your sons and daughters who are late. You may not be with them, but I will be there. That's the greatest promise I thought I would share with you tonight. Joshua, as you cross River Jordan, you won't be with Moses, but I will be there. As you see the walls of Jericho standing before in front of you, threatening as they may, you won't be with Moses, but I will be there. Our God will be with us, and hence the reason why he is said, he gave us Emmanuel, meaning to say, Marivanesu. God will be with you. In that promotion, in that whatever achievements that you are going to do, Joshua, I will be with you. Yes, we may miss them. Our loved ones, we will definitely. Very difficult. I know at times we say you need to move on. From what? Because we loved them. We can't. We loved them. We loved them. But as we may conquer more territories, it will be without them. But God will be with us. God has promised Joshua, arise, have I not commanded thee, be strong. Remember, I want you to be of good courage. Be courageous. Be courageous. Be courageous. Our God will never forsake us. He will never leave us. He will be with us. It might be very difficult to conceptualize. It may be very difficult to, but I said at times we preach in church. At times we preach in our tattoo channel, whatever time. But maybe because I haven't suffered the loss, that word means nothing. But this one, to anyone who has suffered anything, loss-wise, job, opportunities, development opportunities, project opportunities, losing it is difficult. It needs God to advise us the best way we can deal with this loss. May God bless you. It is my prayer that you'll find space for this word in your life, and may He fill you with His love, peace, and joy. We may not be together, but He will be with you. We may never be there, but He will be with you. He is your portion. He is your portion. Hakuna chimwe chinokunda shoko la Mwari. Ende ngatinyaradzike nenyaya iyi kuti yes, but even as we will be called one day, our children will do wonders in our absence. They will do wonders in our absence. And as they do those wonders, we will not be there. But my prayer tonight is that may God be with them. That's the best treasure, that's the best inheritance I can give them. I may not be there, but may God be with them. To my daughter, I will not be there, but may God be with them. Whatever they do, whatever challenges they have, may they meet those challenges, but God being on their side. God has promised, I will be with you. I will be with you. May God bless you. Datenda Zvikuru. Thanks so much, my dear sister Lona Chwandere. May God bless you. Madam Karedzera, may God bless you as well. Chuara, God bless you. And many more friends and relatives. Mariwaki Treasure Kanaka. It's a challenging time. We lost so many of our connections over the COVID. We continue to lose so many things. But God is saying, arise, Mwanangu. After all this has happened, I want you to stand up on your 2 feet. There are still more territories that I want you to conquer. I want you to invade. And as a result, I want you to be strong and be courageous. May God bless you. Datenda Zvikuru, muve nekurara kwakanaka. We'll meet again some other time. May God bless you. Thanks so much. Ndatenda.